Kicked out of a house I didn't want to watch anyways. This happened probably 6 months ago. My dad and his buddy buy and sell houses after fixing them up. They tend to buy in an area of town that is not known for being that safe or crime-free. So while they fix it up, they want me to stay there at night. It's about another 15-minute commute from my work, and I only bring a sleeping bag and a sleeping pad, toothbrush, etc. Only the essentials. So I'm kind of doing them a favor by watching the house. Anyways, I demand my dog stays there with me as I don't own a firearm, and dogs are pretty good at keeping people out. 70-pound pit bull. They say it's fine, and for a week or two I stay the night there, and I bring my dog to and from my house so he stays at my house during the day and watches the house with me at night. At the time of the incident, the house was basically gutted, subfloor, etc. Well, one night, I didn't get home until late, and I woke my dog up, put him in the car, and got to the flipper, went inside, and fell asleep. The next morning, I left work at 5 a.m., brought the dog with me, and was on my way. I don't remember who called or texted first, but both my dad and his friend were very mad and made it clear over text. My dog had peed and pooped in the house. If you remember, he was sleeping when I picked him up, so I figured he never had time to go outside. He's 3 and potty trained. Anyways, they were letting me have it, taking pictures saying, "Are you fucking serious?" And things of that nature. Basically acting like I let the dog willingly use the bathroom. I was very apologetic at first, but it seemed like they were more interested in berating me and my dog than getting an apology. So then I was a little irritated, and I reminded them I was doing them a favor by staying over there, and the house was subfloor anyways, so who cared? They didn't like that. About an hour later, my dad calls and says I won't be needing to stay and watch the house anymore. I said, great, and I left it at that. 2 days later, the house was robbed, and about $5,000 worth of tools went missing. I told him a little accident doesn't seem that bad now, does it? Needless to say, they didn't appreciate my humor, and it was a sore subject for a while, but I bring it up semi-regularly now. Not as juicy as some other stories on here, but I thought I'd share.
Oh, they got a picture of the puppy! Aw, it's one sleepy little boy.
I really like this pupper. He's a good puppers. Now, the one thing I want to say is the owner is not 100% wrong. Dogs have accidents. It happens. Cats have accidents too. Everything has an accident. It's not their fault. It's just bad timing, and you woke them up, and then you brought them into the place and didn't get a chance to use the bathroom. I mean, it happens. But I don't think freaking out and getting on this dude's case was a smart idea, because now you've lost $5,000 in tools and whatnot. And I don't know about you guys. I have a shed that's full of tools that have been handed down from generation to generation. Some of those are irreplaceable. Even though, like, yeah, a hammer's a hammer, but you're never going to replace your dad's hammer, I can tell you that much. So instead of just ragging on this kid, they should have just said, hey, man, when you come back tonight, just clean it up. And that should have been the end of it. That honestly should have been the end of it, because he was just doing him a solid. And some people are just that ungrateful.
If you don't teach your veggies, we'll give you even more!
I've been lurking and loving this sub for quite a while now, and it reminded me of an incident bit malicious compliance I did when I was a kid. This happened when I was about 7 or 10 years old, I think. I don't remember that well. My parents were always fairly strict in the way good parents are. My dad used to be an athlete, and my mom is really into cooking, so health and healthy eating has always been heavily emphasized in our home. This included eating a lot of veggies. Me, being an 8-year-old brat, of course, didn't like vegetables as I was a pretty picky eater. I would always struggle to finish my plate of vegetables after I always immediately had eaten all the meat. So my parents implemented the rules. You have to eat what's on your plate. If you don't, we will put even more veggies on your plate. The threat of having to eat even more veggies always worked wonders. There was, however, always one exception to all of the healthy eating. Once a year, we would go to McDonald's on the way back from vacation. Me and my sister always really looked forward to it. My dad thought it was horrible. This is where the malicious compliance comes in. When we were on our yearly McDonald's visit, I just suddenly stopped eating my fries. My parents looked kind of surprised because normally I'd eat them as if my life depended on them. Why aren't you eating your fries? Fries are vegetables, right? Well, technically, yes. Well, the rule says if I don't eat my vegetables, I get more. My parents then started laughing, and my dad went on to get more fries while shaking his head. This kid is brilliant. I love the setup. He played the system and won the game. He's going places, or he's gone places. I don't know. How old was this person when he posted this? I don't know. Should have just taken the L. I'm a little scared, but here we go. First post, take it easy on me. Also, this is not about me, but my dad. I saw a thread online talking about counterfeit money and thought of my favorite story my dad has told me. Also, I'm on mobile. My dad has worked at a large casino for the better part of 2 decades. Majority of that time was spent as a cashier. Basically, he just handled all the money players needed for the floor, making change, cashing jackpots, etc. Doing this for a long time, he got really good at spotting counterfeits. So good that he never has to even touch the money. Anyway, enough with the preface. Characters: D. My dad, DA. Dumbass customer. This is back when D was a cashier. One day he was sitting at the counter and DA walks up to him. DA was holding a $50 bill that was torn in half. I forgot how he explained it, but DA basically said he tore his bill and asked if D could replace it. Sure, let me see. DA hands the torn bill over. D takes one glance at it and knew it was fake. Sir, this bill is counterfeit. I can't replace it. If you can give me an authentic money, then I'd be happy to. And DA went off, screaming immediately about how dare D accuse him of something like this. This is real money, blah, blah, blah. Now my dad is abrasive. He makes too little money and has been screwed around by upper management for a long time. Basically, he gives little fucks. So when this guy goes off, my dad was just kind of done. Listen, dude, I know this is fake. I'm going to do you a solid and not report it, which is policy, and let you go, okay? DA was not okay with that. Instead, he continues to scream at D to go get someone else because D is an idiot as that was real money. D, giving zero fucks at this point, fine. He calls over another cashier and tells the cashier to swap with him. DA was visibly angry about D's accusations, so was completely satisfied that D complied and got another worker. Since D moved down the counter, he couldn't hear the conversation, and he had another customer to serve, so he didn't watch what happened next. However, about 10 minutes later, D looked up from the counter to see police escorting DA out in handcuffs. DA made eye contact with D, and D just chuckled and gave him a "I told you so" look. Let's talk about fake tender stories. I have a few of them, but I'm going to give you one, and this one involved my grandfather from a long time ago. He used to be a postmaster out here in Buffalo, which is actually a pretty high job to have. They gave him his paycheck one day, and he went to the bank and got it in cash. Went next door to go to the grocery store. He finds out when he gets to the counter that all the bills are fake. Well, they just came from the bank. So he went back to the bank and he handed them the bills and said, "Hey, you gave me a bunch of fakes." Their response was, "Okay, thank you." And they put the money underneath the counter. It never replaced it. They weren't obligated to replace the money, mainly due to the fact he left the bank. So they have no proof he didn't leave the bank, go to his car, and grab fake money, come back in and tell him that it was fake. And that story sticks with me because he was out that money for the week. He did like legit. It was gone. All of it was completely gone. He lost an entire paycheck because some jerk gave the bank fakes and the bank refused to replace the fakes they gave my grandfather, which is ridiculous. But also, that's what they have to do. I've had an individual when I worked at a grocery store once hand me a fake 20, and I had to do the same thing. I wasn't legally allowed to give him back that money. I had to hold on to it, and if they made a fuss, I had to call the police. I even told them, "I'm sorry, this is fake," and I put it underneath the drawer. And they're like, "Well, can I have it back?" And I said, "I can't give it back to you. Legally, I cannot give this back to you because I cannot circulate this bill." So yeah, if you hand fake money to like a cashier or anything like that and you lose that money, it's gone. Don't make a fuss. This guy learned the hard way. Don't make a fuss because yeah, you might not have known it was a fake, or you did, And in either way, cut your losses, mainly due to the fact that it is a felony. So yeah, those are the stories for today. I'd like to know what you guys think of them. I want to know if you guys had any stories very similar to this as well. And I'd like to see them in the comment section below. So you guys have been great, and you guys have been fantastic. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 5,000 subscribers. And also, don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you get all the up-to-date information that we do here on Frosted Fricks. You guys have been great. You guys have been awesome. And as usual, as always, my friends, stay frosty and keep moving forward.